elementary school principal, and then an assistant superintendent for personnel before I became superintendent in Spotswood and then superintendent here in Hamilton Township, where my 3 kids have gone to school and my wife and I live with our family.
Well, here on WBCB, we do some Nottingham High School basketball
Yep.
and other Hamilton Township School District schools as well. Steiner, we mix it up. But your son right now is a North Star, right, on the basketball team?
My son is a North Star
And
on
they're
the
having a
basketball
great
team.
season.
They're having a wonderful season, great season. They're in the States right now, and I wish them a lot of luck as they move forward in the state playoffs, but they're a great team playing hard. We have a lot of great teams across the district in our 3 high schools, and a lot of students are performing really well right now at the end of the season, whether they're in wrestling in the state finals, or we've had some track and field athletes that have performed really well.
That's great.
Really proud of our athletes that have performed well each season as they move forward, and really proud of all of our students who have performed well in their extracurricular activities.
I'm a father of a high school junior, and it must give you a different perspective, a different take on the experience of school, having somebody in the high school.
It is a little different, and my two older children have graduated from Nottingham, and they've gone on. My daughter's graduated from college. My middle son is in college right now as a junior, and then my youngest is a junior at Nottingham. And it is a different perspective as a leader when you have children in the school district. Not only you're vested as a leader when you're in a school district where your children don't go, but the level of involvement and what you're seeing and what you are looking to see in your district is different when your children are there. And I've enjoyed every moment of it. It's been fantastic.
It's pretty awesome. Sounds like a rich and a different type of experience now you were able to draw from.
Absolutely.
Dr. Rocco, tell us about the state of Hamilton Township School District and the sense of, like, what are the objectives? What are you guys hoping to achieve in this school year?
Sure. So right now we have 3 objectives, which I've talked a lot about with the community. I've also talked a lot about with at our Board of Education meetings, and those are academics, attendance, and student behaviors. On the academic end, coming out of the pandemic, all districts across the state and the United States have struggled academically, and we are no different. We have done a lot of things over the last 2 years to enhance the academics, from tutoring programs to different types of courses that we're offering, to make sure that our students are learning and progressing after the pandemic. So academics is very important to us, and there are many, many things that we've put in place. Also, in the middle school, we're making some adjustments to the academic program for students that are struggling, to provide some additional resources in the summertime for them so that they are ready for the next grade level, whether that's 7th grade, 8th grade, or going on to the high school. So that's the academic end. On the attendance end, you can't have the academics unless our students come to school. And before the pandemic, we were working on chronic absenteeism. And we got a grant from the Princeton Area Community Foundation to work on that. And we've spent a lot of time working with our schools, our students, and our families to make sure that they understand the importance of coming to school every day. Sometimes kids get sick and they should stay home. And if your child has a fever, has some type of contagious illness, your child should stay home. But other than that, children should be in school. And a lot of times we don't realize as parents that if your child is sick just 2 days a month, and it doesn't seem like a lot, 2 days, that adds up to 20 days in the school year. And that's a chronically absent student. So we are trying to cut back our chronic absenteeism rate at all of our buildings. And we are seeing a lot of success with that. Again, pre-pandemic, saw a tremendous amount of success with it.
What are some of the factors that you're trying to combat or
Sure.
finding are at the heart of chronic absenteeism?
I think number one is understanding that just 2 days out can add up very quickly each month. So that's number one. Number two, the importance of showing up to school every day on time to make sure that you're ready for learning. So that's the second part of it. Third part is understanding what struggles a family might have getting into school, whether that is I'm a walking family and the weather is not good, or a family with very young children and mom or dad or a family member is taking care of the young children, and the older child who's going to school has to be a little more independent. So how do we help the family with that? And our principals are doing an outstanding job with that. Our teachers are doing an outstanding job with that. And all across the district, we are seeing better rates students when it comes to attendance. And then the third item there is behaviors, right? So we look at how our students are behaving in classes and in school, and we set an expectation. And what type of programming are we doing to help students to understand that when they're frustrated, when they're upset, when maybe they're getting in an argument with their peers, that there are ways to handle that without having an issue of either getting physical with somebody or shouting or yelling. There's guidance staff, there's teachers, there's administrators, all kinds of different ways in which you can handle an issue much more maturely than maybe getting into an argument or a fight with somebody. And we're seeing success there also.
Well, to get back to the absenteeism issue, the theme this year for the Hamilton Township School District is every day counts. That kind of seems like it kind of plays into that, say, the significance of being here, participating, getting involved in extracurricular activities. We're going to talk about the arts and other things. Involvement is a super important element to the results students are going to get, and part of that is capitalizing on each day, carpe diem kind of mentality, right?
Yeah, and it's not, it's just not a random theme. There's a real reason why we have it. It ties into all three goals. Every day counts here in Hamilton Township Public Schools. So there are things that every one of us can do. Every teacher, every staff member, every administrator, the superintendent, students and parents and the community can do to make sure that every day counts so that students learn and students have a good experience in our schools. It's a team effort. Right? We all have to work together. We all have to generally pull in the same direction to make sure that we are doing the best that we can do for our students. We get 180 days to work with our students. That is not a lot of time. Right? So we want to make sure from the moment they enter school to the moment they leave that every moment counts. And I'm very proud of the work that our teachers and our staff and our administrators do to make sure that every day counts in our schools.
I mean, for students, sometimes 180 days seems like a lot
It
to
does,
deal
right.
with.
You're right.
And
You're
I
right.
love the motto, every day counts. And the other motto that you may see on the background behind us is One Hamilton.
Yes.
And the idea that all three of these high schools, and as you said, everybody pulling in the same direction is a key to success. And we're going to talk about the arts and summer camp. Technology is a big thing in schools. I was thinking coming over here of talking about how we're going to peer underneath the lid of the desk to find out what's happening inside the Hamilton Township School Districts. And I thought to myself, you know what, nobody peers underneath the lid of their desk anymore
No.
because there's no books in there, there's no paper in there. It's all technology. How has technology impacted the Hamilton Township School District?
Yeah, so prior to the pandemic, in our strategic plan, we had a goal to go 1-to-1 as an entire district K through 12 by 2025. So we're in 2024 right now. Within 2 months of the pandemic hitting, we were 1-to-1 in the district. And then we dealt with the issue of having access through Wi-Fi.
So as somebody who's not in the education realm, 1-to-1 is the number of like units?
Devices to students.
Right,
so
right.
every student had
Gets a
their own
Chromebook
device. When we use Chromebooks in the district, so every student had their own device so that they could learn at home. We have continued that and made sure that we have moved forward with that. Our infrastructure is state-of-the-art infrastructure. So anywhere you go, you can open your laptop and you have Wi-Fi in the district. Any building, a little bit outside of the buildings, but basically you can take a device and go around the district and have access as you go forward. But that's a piece of it. That's the hardware. We have some software that we use, but then more importantly, we have training for our staff. So all the software and all the devices that we use, our staff is trained. We have an outstanding tech department, tech facilitators. They travel all over the country. They are that good that they train our staff on Google Apps for Education and all the other software that we use so that our teachers are ready to infuse technology efficiently for instruction. And it's a very important piece for our community to understand. We have all this technology, but the technology does not replace the teacher, right? That connection between student and teacher is vital to learning. The technology, the hardware, the software is there to enhance it.
So in the as you're working in the technology area, you want students to be able to explore, but also maybe have certain limitations. I mean, those computer people really are geniuses in how they can set up certain firewalls. I know my daughter's Chromebook that she uses in her high school she can't go to certain sites. She can't search certain things. She can find academic stuff, but it's limited in that way. And I'm thankful for that as a dad.
Yeah, yeah. We have the same thing here. We have firewall on certain things that you can and cannot access.
Right.
And one of the things that we're exploring more and more as we go forward and have opened up a little bit of that access is AI, artificial intelligence. And I really believe that that is the next kind of phase for us in education, and we should not be fearing that. We
As
should
long as
be
everyone doesn't do their papers through ChatGPT.
Right. Yes, and there are different ways, and we're training our staff on how to use it, but there's different ways also to kind of infuse things so you know if a student does that. There are really good ways to use AI as a student to check your work, to proofread your work, to make recommendations on improving your writing, or to assist you with things. And we just need to teach kids how to do that. And that's the important piece, because when I was a student, we had a TRS 80. And I don't know if anybody knows that Radio Shack to it. Some people might know that and laugh about it. It was like a big box with a green screen, and it was horrible, right? But
I go back to the Commodore 64.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
in that
So
same
I'm
kinda
really
era.
dating myself. But I think when devices came into play and then the internet came into play in education, everybody thought that was going to ruin education. And the same concept is happening right now with AI. I think people just need to understand it a little better. But we're going to move on with it and use it for the betterment of instruction and learning.
This is great. We're talking with Dr. Scott Rocco, Superintendent of Schools for the Hamilton Township School District, here on the Education Parade on WBCB. Talking about one-to-one as far as the units and students. What about the ratio when it comes to students and teachers? How do you guys attract new talent when it comes to teachers and make sure to try to bring the best into the school district to work with the young people you guys have here?
Yeah, recruitment and retention are very important. Also a part of our strategic plan, but there is also a shortage of teachers out there right now, and it's written about in a lot of newspapers and magazines and a lot of research being done on it. We're going out and traditionally recruiting the way we've normally recruited at college career fairs and different organizations, but we're also using a lot of social media, and we are trying to attract the next generation of teachers. And one of the ways of doing that is they're not going to the newspaper and opening up the newspaper. I used to look at the Star Ledger on Sundays, and they had a whole education section. Again, dating myself on these things.
Back when you were looking at your T180.
Right, exactly, and see if it would come up on a green screen. But at the end of the day, they're looking through social media. So using different social media platforms and creating different types of ways of attracting their attention. So we have a video right now that's called "Are You Ready to Be My Teacher?" And it's actually our students. Our students are going through what they're looking for to be in the next teacher. And we're trying to attract our next generation of teachers through our students, and the students saying, here's what I need, here's what I like, and are you ready for us? And it's a really cute video that's out there on our website. We also are going over and talking to college classes. So myself and some of my senior staff will go to the College of New Jersey, we'll go to Rider, we'll go Rutgers, we'll go all different places to students who are graduating, they're seniors, finishing up their student teaching, and basically saying to them, hey, Hamilton's a great place to work. Why don't you get some information? And then one of the other pieces that we're doing is we always bring in a lot of student teachers. And for us, a student teacher coming in is a 15-week job interview. And so if we've got high-quality student teachers, which we get a ton of those, we start offering them jobs. We actually just had, before winter break, a student teacher who had wrapped up. He was in a meeting with us, a group of us for a committee that we had, and we offered him a job the next week. It was really exciting. Exciting for him, exciting for us. And then the added bonus of that was he was a graduate of Hamilton. So he had graduated about 4 years ago, and we were excited to have him back. Great kid. Cool. Excited to have him and a bunch of other kids we hired in the winter.
That's awesome. And I love the element of the students kind of recruiting the teachers or letting everybody know what they're looking for. Well, if there's any potential educators with us today on the Education Parade here on WBCB, reach out to Dr. Rocco.
Absolutely.
And a great landing spot here for the Hamilton Township School District. How can the community get involved? Talking about everybody pulling in one direction, and we feel the energy when we go into the gym and we get to experience the high school basketball, and the community comes out and they're in the stands. But how can the community help with the education process and the results that these students are going to get?
It's a great question. So let me start with parents and families. And you can get involved by talking with your children every day about school. If you have a family dinner, talk to your children about what happened during the school day. If your child is home and they're watching a movie or reading a book, just take 5 minutes and have a conversation about what happened during the day. And as a parent, I know how that conversation goes. What'd you do today? Nothing. Trust me, they did something. Right. So go in a little deeper about, well, what was the day like? What were things happening in school? What did you like? What didn't you like? So I think the conversation is important first.
My question is, what happened in school today?
Yeah.
Because typically there's something.
Something happened.
Something happened. Yeah.
Right. But that's the first part is engaging in your children and making sure that they have that opportunity to talk with you about school. The second part is we run committees, we have activities, we have events at the schools, we have surveys that we put out. There's lots of different ways of doing that. And I'll just wrap up with one, which is we have a facility strategic plan, which anybody in the community can participate with. And we're trying to plan out what the facilities for our district can be moving forward. And we're going to produce a report in the next 6 months to the board with options of what we can do. And so anybody in the community can be part of that. You can come to 1 meeting, you can come to 10 meetings. Whatever you are available to attend, we would welcome you to be part of it.
Hamilton Township School District moving to a combined municipal building in the near future. How's that going to help out the school district and how you guys are able to do your work?
Yeah, so we have 2 facilities right now. We would combine 2 facilities into 1 facility. Also,
makes sense.
Yeah, it helps in that sense. But also, this used to be the building we're in now, Park Avenue, used to also have a very robust training center in the basement. About 2.5 years ago, we had a flood down there with a really bad storm, and we've never been able to use the basement again. So we don't have a facility on site to be able to do PD. Therefore, we also can't do our board meetings here anymore because the tech department is upstairs. So there's no facility here to do board meetings or to do PD. The new facility will allow us to have a common place to do board meetings. Will also allow us to do professional development every day, all day, because we'll have a designated space, and the entire team will be in 1 location.
Sounds like makes sense. I guess the other thing that other districts aren't dealing with 3 different high schools. The logistics of those administration buildings may have longer histories than I'm really thinking of. Your history as superintendent of schools goes back 7 years with Hamilton Township School District. Tell us some of the highlights, if you could, during that time, that accomplishments that you'd mark off for us.
Sure. So 7 years, this is my 30th year in education. And I think the first accomplishment
some of the technology stuff sounded pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. And it's a team effort. I want to say when we say my accomplishments, it's really a team effort. You can't do anything alone. And I think that's an important piece is everybody has a piece in this, right? So everybody works hard. And my first accomplishment that I'm proud of is the work done by my teachers, my staff, and my administration. Everyone works hard every day, and that's why we have every day counts as our motto. So that's the first thing that I am very proud of is the work that they do. The second thing is we did a huge library update at our high schools. So our libraries were very outdated, and the libraries really need to be hubs of learning. They have to be places where kids want to go. They can go as an individual, sit in a corner, read a book, study, do homework, whatever. They can have small groups of students studying together. We can have tutoring. We revamped all the high school libraries. They're beautiful. The next step was we're now doing the middle schools. And so creating that environment again where kids want to go into the library. So that would be a second piece. I'd mentioned the chronic absenteeism work that we've done to bring more kids back into school. PSATs. We offer the PSATs for 9th graders, 10th graders, and 11th graders at no cost to our students. So if you want to take the PSATs as a precursor to the SATs to get you ready for college, doesn't cost you anything. The test is done in school. The other thing is the AP exams. We've increased the number of AP classes that we've offered here in the district, but if you are a student who's in an AP class, you don't have to pay for the AP exam.
Wow.
So the Board of Education has been very generous in making sure that both the PSATs and the AP exams are paid for students. We do not want the cost of an exam to be an impediment to a child getting college credit or taking a class. So those are a couple of things.
If I could just
Yeah.
circle back to the library
Yeah.
issue, I think people really would be amazed at how different the library experience is today than it was 30 or 40 years ago. So kudos on all of those upgrades. One of the other elements I think we're going to talk with Mr. Baye about later on are these connections between high schools and colleges.
Correct.
And can you talk a little bit about what Hamilton Township School District is doing in that regard, right, where students can learn here but also learn at Mercer Community College?
Sure. We have what's called dual enrollment programs. So we have a dual enrollment program at Kane, Mercer County, and William Patterson in different subjects. And basically a student, as pretty much a senior, can take a class like an English class, which is a college level 101 class.
Right.
And if you get a certain grade, because the course in the high school is aligned with the curriculum and the syllabus at the college, and through the dual enrollment, we are making sure that it's the same level of coursework and rigor. You get a passing grade, B or better, you can get college credit, and a lot of New Jersey schools will accept that. And an interesting thing, I won't say the college right now, but prior to our interview today, one of our local colleges just reached out to us about enhancing dual enrollment beyond the 3 that we already have dual enrollment programs with.
Well, that's pretty awesome. And
Yeah.
AP courses and testing, that's been around for quite some time.
Correct.
But this dual enrollment thing feels like it's kind of a new wrinkle in that where high school students can get some college credit. You don't have to take the AP exam. And,
Correct.
A terrific new thing here at Hamilton Township School District. Dr. Rocco, thank you for being with us and setting the tone, getting us started, kicking off our
Appreciate it.
education parade today. You're our who's the guy in the beginning? The band major, I believe, right? The drum major.
Drum
I'm sorry.
major, drum major.
Our drum major today, Dr. Scott Rocco, getting our education parade going. And we're going to talk to some other education professionals here from Hamilton Township School District in just a moment. We're going to get into the arts next. And we talked about 3 high schools. There's a bunch of high school musicals. The middle schools are also going to be performing. We'll talk about the visual arts. That's all coming up in just a bit here on the education parade. And as we step aside, I want to mention that today's show is brought to you by the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office. Big thanks to Angelo Onifrey. Thanks also to Haldeman Ford Subaru, here yesterday, here today, here tomorrow. Thanks to Capital Health, to Saul Funeral Homes, also to the Hamilton Township Education Association, all on board today for the education parade. All right, we're here in the administration offices, and we're coming right back for more about the Hamilton Township School District.
Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. This is Merrill Reese reminding you that Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township is more than just a great place to purchase a new Ford Subaru or pre-owned car or truck. Their collision and service centers services all makes and models and specializes in fleet service. Haldeman's Collision Center is renowned for their work. It's a state-of-the-art facility, all insurance accepted, free estimates and loaner cars available, and one of the friendliest staffs around. From small dents to major repairs on any make or model, it's Haldeman Ford Subaru Collision Center, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. They're good!
Hi, this is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Onifrey, and I'm proud to help sponsor today's show and promote what's happening in our community. All residents of your hometown should stay involved and participate in community activities, whether it's volunteering to help make your town clean, or volunteering at the animal shelter, or helping at a local youth event. Staying involved in your community makes your hometown a great place to live. This is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Onifrey, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
Hey, welcome back to the Education Parade on WBCB. All right, going to have some fun now. We get to talk about the arts, the performing arts, and the visual arts at the Hamilton Township School District. And to help us, Dr. Kerry Sullivan is with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Dr. Sullivan, tell us about your background in education and what brought you here to the Hamilton Township School District.
Sure. Well, my background is in theater. As a theater artist, I was a practicing artist for a couple of years until I got into education and worked as a teaching artist and transitioned into a classroom teacher and then into an administrator. And as an administrator, my focus has been on arts education and promoting opportunities for our young people and helping them amplify their voices.
But I think it's so important for kids to be involved in stuff. Whatever the stuff is that they choose to do. We were talking with Dr. Rocco about how his son is on the North Star basketball team. I had a lot of fun on the high school stage and look back on those times really, really fondly. And the teamwork that you develop, the working with the other students, developing your own sense of confidence is super powerful and empowering to the young people that you work with. Explain the role that you play in just supervising the program, the visual arts and the performing arts at Hamilton Township School District.
Sure. Well, I see my role as serving the students and the community here and doing that through supporting our amazing team of arts educators that we have in the district. And there's three kind of areas that I focus on as an arts supervisor. One is making sure that we have a meaningful and relevant curriculum for our students that is really driven by the New Jersey Student Learning Standards. I think the other part is making sure that we're assessing our students, assessing their growth and their progress as artists and musicians, and we're doing that through authentic assessment measures. And then also, really making sure that the instructional approaches that we're using are student-centered and that the work is meaningful and relevant to our students here in Hamilton.
My wife is an art teacher, and one of the things that she's asked to do is to try to weave her curriculum into what the students are working on in the classroom in other disciplines. It sounds like that's kind of what you're describing, trying to get that the arts and the other academia to work in conjunction with each other.
Absolutely. There's a lot of opportunities through arts education to have that cross discipline connections. And so I think we're both trying to serve other disciplines and make our students well-rounded individuals, but we also want to teach arts for art's sake and focus on the art skills, both the artistic skills as well as some of the social emotional skills that you were talking about, and really helping our students develop those, because that's what is needed for success.
I'm right now binging Young Sheldon, and in this sitcom, Young Sheldon at some point decides to take up the violin because he heard that Albert Einstein played the violin. And if I play the violin and Albert Einstein played the violin, then this is going to help me with my scientific. I'm not sure it actually works quite in that way, but it is true that the arts can, get other stuff going in your brain that helps with mathematics and other stuff that has been documented. I mean, I don't know about the whole Einstein stuff, but there's something to that.
Absolutely. There's lots of research out there on the benefits of arts education. And when I'm talking about arts, I'm talking about visual arts, music, dance, theater, and media arts, all five artistic disciplines.
Creative stuff.
Absolutely.
Right,
and
right.
there's lots of links between how when we develop our creative and critical thinking through arts education, that can help us in other areas like math, literacy, fluency,
Yeah. Well, it didn't quite work out for young Sheldon, but I don't think he gave it enough time to really develop his skill as a musician and to, all the different connections and stuff that can make, I think is really, really powerful. And I know that's one of the reasons why arts education is important, because you get those crossovers and stuff like that. All right, we want to talk about the musicals. I don't know if people can see in front of us. We have a number of very impressive posters that you guys have created, middle school and high school musicals that are coming up.
Yes.
And that's one of the ways you guys are celebrating the arts, and it's like high school musical season. We'll get to the visual arts in a moment because you have an art show coming up.
We do.
All right, so before that, we want to let everybody know about the musicals that are coming up at the Hamilton Township School District. I don't know, can you walk, I don't know if there's chronologically or if you want to do it by order of the way they're laid out here?
Yeah, well, let's go in chronological in case people want to come see all 6 shows. They can plan out their calendars.
Mean Girls, it's back in the movies.
I was going to say, I know, perfect timing with this one. I'm so excited to see this week. So Mean Girls is performed by our students at Steinert High School. It's going to be February 22nd and 23rd at 7 p.m. and on February 24th, that's Saturday, at 1 and 7.
That's so fetch.
Yes.
Yes. And booked by Tina Fey. I didn't realize she was involved in that way with Mean Girls the musical.
Yeah, she wrote the original screenplay. It was adapted from a book, and then she a researched book, and then she helped with the development of the Broadway musical, and now the movie that we have. So we're excited our students get to perform something so fun and timely.
Sounds awesome. All right, so that is at Steinert High School. And do these run kind of at the same time, or are they?
Nope, we have planned it out so there's one each week.
Perfect.
So we're trying not to compete with each other.
All right, so that's February 22nd through the 24th at Steinert. All right, who's next?
So next up we have Chicago.
Oh, Murder and Mayhem.
Little Mayhem. Yep, exactly. So Chicago.
Oh, the teen edition.
Yes. So a little safer. So Chicago is at Nottingham High School, and that will
Nice.
be performed on February 29th, March 1st, and March 2nd at 7 p.m.
I mean, this is really, really cool. How you guys, these are the students that are going to be performing in the show?
Yes.
And they're right here on the poster?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, so that is Nottingham High School. You got Steinert, you got Nottingham. Hamilton West.
Hamilton West is up next with the Addams Family. So this is always a really fun show, and this will be March 7th, 8th, and 9th at 7 p.m.
Got Wednesday there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't
The
know if they
Addams
do
Family.
the dance that was so popular. We'll have to watch and see if they're going to do that.
So Steinert, Nottingham, and Hamilton West high school musicals coming up. Mean Girls, Chicago, and the Addams Family. Check it out and support our local student performers. All right, let's see what else we have. And so 3 high schools and 3 middle schools.
Yes.
Well, that is
So
all.
we have a lot of theater going on.
The Descendants. I don't know the Descendants that well. It's like a Disney thing, but it's like it's for the young people.
It is. It's a newer thing, and so it looks at some of the descendants of the villains, the Disney villains that we might be familiar with,
Gotcha.
and how they are, how their descendants are as young people. So it's a great performance opportunity for our middle school students, and that is being done at Reynolds Middle School on March 6th, 7th, and 8th at 7 p.m. And on March 9th, we have a matinee at 3.
Nice. Descendants, the musical. All right, high school musical at the middle school.
Yes. So this
At
one
Grice.
at Grice, yes. So High School Musical will be March 14th and 15th at 7 p.m. and then March 16th at 2 p.m. And this one it's also a lot of fun. I'm excited for this one.
Everybody knows High School Musical. That's going to be awesome. And I love this motion picture. I don't think I've ever seen this on stage. Into the Woods. Stephen Sondheim.
I was going to say, yes, it's an amazing, amazing show, and I think it's such a wonderful opportunity for our students at Crockett to be able to experience this text and this music. And so I'm thrilled to see this one, and that's going to be March 21st and 22nd at 7 and March 23rd at 3.
Yeah, and Into the Woods, it's like text and subtext and all kind of interesting stuff. So that's a really cool show. Great opportunities for these young people to perform and come together on the stage for the high school and middle school musicals. But also you guys have some stuff coming up with the visual arts, the art show in March.
Yes. So March, it's a big month for us in arts education. We have Theater in Our Schools Month, so we're celebrating this way. We have Music in Our Schools Month, and then we have Art in Our School Month. And for that, we're excited for our annual district art show. We're proud to be partnering and grateful to be partnering with the Hamilton Township Public Library, who will host our show.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, it's a great opportunity. The community can come out. There's, many hours that they can see some of this just amazing artwork by our students. So the show will be up from March 2nd through the 26th. And we invite everyone in the community to come out. There are 2 receptions because we have so many artists
That's great.
participating. So our elementary artist will be celebrated on March 4th from 5:30 to 7:30. So you can come out and see their work. And then our secondary artist will be celebrated on March 6th from 6 to 8 p.m.
You guys should do like a third show for the artists who like just mailed it in there in the last one. Well, I love the art shows, but sometimes when my daughter isn't selected, I say, what the heck? How do students get selected? I think there's a whole mix of things. A lot of it is, I don't think she ever was extremely enthusiastic about the visual arts necessarily, and so I think sometimes educators will try to inspire those who have a passion for whatever it happens to be, whether it's singing or any type of creative arts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot that goes into this, right? We're looking for those students who are passionate and dedicated. We also want to celebrate students, natural talents, and certainly some of our students have those natural talents. But I think, again, arts education is about more than that. I do think everybody is an artist.
Yes.
And it's our job as arts educators to be able to find that artistic and help them find their artistic comfort zone, which is why it's great here in Hamilton that we have so many opportunities in both visual and performing arts.
Yeah, I'll admit that sometimes like art education can drive me a little crazy because there is this, people are assessed, but your own passion and stuff is hard to really quantify sometimes. And if that's how, I don't know, if that's how you were feeling and that's how it came out, I don't know. But then again, I don't feel like the arts education is necessarily a very strict in that regard either. Like I think if people put forth effort and
Well, I think
participate.
there's a lot of ways we can assess our student artists, right? And one of those is asking for artist statements. How are they able to articulate their artwork? The skills that they put, the time that they put, what they're trying to convey, what meaning they're trying to convey, as well as some of the technical skills, right? So it is a
Right.
balance between the technical skills as well as that artistic thinking. So I think there are easy ways to assess the arts.
I
And
guess
that's one of our goals here.
I've said to my wife before that like sometimes it's more about what you say about the art than about what the art itself is. But what are some of the goals this year as we round out our discussion about the arts, visual, and performing in the Hamilton Township School District, the 3 musicals at the high school, the 3 middle school musicals that are coming up, the art show at the library that people can enjoy? It sounds like you already have accomplished a lot of your annual goals. Are there other things that you guys are looking for as you round out the year in the spring to take care of?
I think just for all of these, right? For our musicals, for our upcoming music in our schools concerts, which we have a band concert and a choir concert on March 26th and 27th, which is also district-wide.
We can't leave anybody out.
We can't. And I think,
That's great.
that's one of the goals is just to get, as much community support and family support and student support because our artists and our teachers here are working hard every day. They are doing just amazing work. And so, again, the more people we can get out to understand what we're doing and to support that and encourage that, the better.
All right, so we're talking to you out there with us on the Education Parade today to come out and support the musicals and the art show, maybe see the band as they perform in March. It is a celebration of the arts in March throughout the Hamilton Township School District. So thankful to Dr. Sullivan for being with us and for hanging out. And the other thing I'll note, I was a little critical, I feel like, of art in a certain regard, but I really love to see the creative, I don't know, whatever the students end up doing, there's something that is so alive about it and so real about how they are able to share their, I don't know, whatever creative juices in that way. And I love it. I just, sometimes how it's assessed or how it's graded, I'm like, I don't know, but like, what is good art? What is bad art?
I was like, that's a whole conversation and something we talk with our students about, you know, all of the time, because there is a certain, you know, amount of personal opinion with that. But I think, you know, to your point, art, you know, our young people have so much to say. And art, again, whether it's dance, music, theater, visual arts, media arts, you know, that's a way that we can help our students amplify their voices and really develop some of those critical and necessary skills to find success in the 21st century.
And then too, when you are able to spark that type of curiosity, and then they say, well, how can I make this a life's passion? A lot of times it requires the other academic fields to be able to write well, to be able to express yourself, to know what's going on around in the world around you. The social studies and those type of things are extremely important to, I don't know, developing who you are. And the arts, I think, is sometimes an unsung hero in the public schools world.
Absolutely, I think it is. And I'm biased in this regard, of course, but I think it's one of the most important things that we can do to support our students is provide them with high quality, meaningful arts education, because it really can help them in so many areas.
And the other thing I'll add, just not to cut you off, but I mentioned that my daughter is a junior in high school, and her time, her high school experience, I think, really was aided by being in the marching band and creating this group of friends around her, and then being in the jazz band. And this year she's moved more into the athletics realm, but to be able to have all those different opportunities for her to explore has been great. And so we want everyone to participate, get involved in stuff.
Absolutely.
Whatever it is. Well, thank you, Dr. Sullivan, for hanging out and being with us on the Education Parade here as we talk about the Hamilton Township School District celebrating the arts in March and some of the musicals coming up later in February. Check that out. And we're going to come back with more education on Parade. We're going to talk about summer camps. We're going to talk about PE and also world languages as we'll bring in two more guests to continue to talk about the Hamilton Township School District on WBCB.
This is Merrill Reese reminding you that Haldeman Ford Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township is more than just a great place to purchase a new Ford Subaru or pre-owned car or truck. Their collision and service centers services all makes and models and specializes in fleet service. Haldeman's Collision Center is renowned for their work. It's a state-of-the-art facility, all insurance accepted, free estimates and loaner cars available, and one of the friendliest staffs around. From small dents to major repairs on any make or model, it's Haldeman Ford Subaru Collision Center, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. They're good! Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org.
Hi, this is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I'm proud to help sponsor today's show and promote what's happening in our community. All residents of your hometown should stay involved and participate in community activities, whether it's volunteering to help make your town clean, or volunteering at the animal shelter, or helping at a local youth event. Staying involved in your community makes your hometown a great place to live. This is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
All right, welcome back to the Hamilton Township administration offices here as we talk about the Hamilton Township School District on Education Parade. And I feel like maybe I'm caught off here as I got guests on both sides of me now. Mr. Alejandro Valle, the supervisor of PE and world languages on my right, and Miss Laura Gelch on my left. And we're going to talk about summer camps with Laura in just a moment. But we'll talk to Mr. Baye first about world languages and PE. Can you explain the role that you play as a supervisor for both of those parts of the Hamilton Township School District for us?
Yeah, sure thing. Sure thing. I always like to refer.
By the way, welcome. I should welcome our guests first.
Appreciate it.
We've asked everybody else about their background, how you came here to the Hamilton Township School District. So I think I actually should start with that question.
Sure, no problem. Year 8 now. Time flies. I actually had my career as a health and physical education teacher in multiple levels. I started as an adapted phys ed teacher, and I happen to also be bilingual, so a lot of people will hear my position of world languages and health and physical education. But I actually love it.
A natural fit for you.
No, yeah, I really do. I mean, health and PE background, and then just being a heritage speaker, I was born here, but, grew up speaking the language at home, to supervise an awesome department that teaches, students who have the background knowledge of language, but then those who are learning it from scratch. Having that perspective from being a heritage speaker is just pretty cool. So just being able to support them. As far as my role, as you mentioned, we have a huge team of 94 teachers altogether between the two departments. So 67 health and PE, and then 27 world language, which is great. German, French, Italian, and Spanish in the high school division, which is great. So yeah, just being able to kind of lead that team, collaborate with staff and administration within the 24 buildings, because I'm a K-12 supervisor. Busy but fun. I really do enjoy it. And then just managing curriculum, doing professional development, and anything I can do to support staff, which leads to supporting our students.
I mean, it does sound busy working with all those teachers and across different buildings. How would you say, languages? I'm not sure if my daughter had an early enough introduction into languages. Can you tell us overall about the language program for Hamilton Township School District and how learning a second language can help with, maybe other elements of academia or just expand someone's horizon?
Sure, absolutely. We're always promoting students, taking the language. In the state of New Jersey, students need their 1 year as a graduation requirement, but between our teachers, our guidance counselors, we're always just pushing the students, because at the college division, they need 2 to 3 years. And then we do offer an opportunity for students to get AP in all 4 of our languages, which is great. So we're always really trying to push that to learn the cultures, but also learn the skills. I hope we get to talk about this later, but also we push for the seal of biliteracy, which is something that the students get to have an opportunity to do. They actually test in a world language to show their proficiency, and then they also have to show that they have the English proficiency, and they actually get a certification from the state, from the Department of Education, so it can go on their transcripts. They can get college credits if the college allows that, and rather than putting on their resumes, I speak another language, they actually have an official certification from the state, which is pretty awesome.
I mean, how difficult is that to achieve? How many students would you estimate are in that realm?
So it varies. So I actually proctored the test, and the students are always like, did I pass? Did I fail? And I'm like, there's no passing and failing. It actually shows where you are in the proficiency ladder, how strong you are in speaking, how strong you are in listening, and, the other skills.
But you have to reach a certain threshold.
It's a score of a 5, which is
got to get that certificate.
Yes. So for the lingo of intermediate mid is how you would rate it, and that's similar to a level of a level 4, for example, like a German 4, a Spanish 4, and so on.
Okay.
Which that's the average, but it has to be intermediate mid at reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So our students do a great job. We have heritage and native speakers that get it, but the awesome thing is we also have students that English is their first language that are getting it, and that just gives kudos to our teachers doing a good job.
That's awesome. Right. Talking PE and world languages with Mr. Baye, and dual enrollment was something that we talked about with Dr. Rocco. And can people get some college credit for some of the language work that they do? Or tell us a little bit more about the dual enrollment opportunities for kids.
Sure, absolutely. So we do have a partnership with William Patterson University. This is year 3 now, so we do have an equivalence with their college courses that they offer that actually matches our Spanish 3, Spanish 4, and our AP Spanish courses. So the students pretty much need to just sit down, enjoy the course like they normally would. The only thing in addition to that is a midterm that we provide with William Patterson, a midterm and a final.
Right.
Outside of that, the students would pay $300, which is a decent amount of money, but compared to $1,500 that they would have paid for those 3 credits.
Yeah.
So it's a great savings for our students and their families.
Yeah, and a head start.
Absolutely.
With some college credits potentially.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. I loved PE. What's new in the world of PE? If you could, like, I don't know, there was something about just taking time out of the day where you could move around and I don't know. We had fun. I mean, and then there was like like in the years before me, they had like all these presidential fitness tests, which didn't seem like they were as much fun. So I'm wondering, like, how rigorous and how do you balance the fun factor with making sure these kids are putting in some real work, learning something about movement and activity.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I just growing up, I loved phys ed as well, and I'm glad that you said PE and phys ed. I'm that guy where it's, and some people are like, really? Where it's physical education, not gym. There are two. Those two do exist, right? And I feel that here we do have a physical education program because, and it's not your phys ed from when we were growing up, right? It's the whole child, right? It's just not going to be sports related, which not saying that's out because that's important, but you know, that child, that student that is not that great at basketball and they have, you know, the starting 5 from their high school in their phys ed period, that's pretty intimidating,
Yeah.
right? So to be able to take a different approach to some of those activities along with other activities from, we have different buckets that we have fill in. So there's team activities, there's individual and dual activities, there's fitness, of course, and there's fun ways to do fitness always. There's rhythm and movement, and there's also life and wellness. So there's a lot of different buckets, making sure that every student can kind of find their pathway. So maybe I want to be a basketball player. Maybe you have fun moving and dancing. Or maybe, you know, Mrs. Gelch here is really enjoying yoga.
I mean, phys had such a mixed bag. I remember we did like traditional, I don't know if it was square dancing. Did you do any square dancing back in your day?
I did as a student and as a teacher. Yes, so I had the cowboy hat and everything, so to have my students be more engaged.
That is awesome. Well, Mr. Baye, thank you for joining us today on the Education Parade and telling us about what's happening at the Hamilton Township School
Sure
District.
thing, my pleasure.
World Languages and PE, and we're going to turn now to Laura Gelch. And Laura, I know you wanted to talk about summer camps, but before we get into that, describe your role at Hamilton Township School District for us.
Sure. Well, I'm actually in my 6th year with the Hamilton Township School District. It is my 10th year, though, of full-time school communications. So my background has always been in marketing and promotion and education. And as a school communicator, you're kind of combining the two. I taught early childhood for 8 years, and that's been actually a huge asset for me with coming in and building a summer camp program here in the district. You know, a lot of the curriculum that I used to write is really woven in our camp programs.
All right, so what goes on in the summer for Hamilton Township School District? I mean, right now people are thinking it's spring. It's still the winter right now, but we need to start to plan for summer activities and get everything ready. So what types of things can students participate in and enjoy with the camps here?
Yeah, it's interesting. So we're only in February, but camp starts almost right after it ends. So we run for 4 weeks, the whole month of July into the beginning of August, and after August, I'm actually surveying our families and I'm finding out what worked with camp. What did you love? What can we work on? How can we expand? You know, we're getting testimonials from our families. We're finding out how the students were engaged and what worked. And then we build out the program. All fall long, I'm working with our teachers. Our camps are unique in that they're taught by our teachers, which is exciting. I'm married to an educator, and it's always hard to find those summer jobs. So it was important to us when we built out this program that we offer an opportunity for our teachers to not only only be involved in this program, but to teach, not necessarily even what you teach full time. It might be an opportunity if you play guitar, you can teach guitar.
Man, it seems like a certain peace of mind for parents too to know that it's professional educators that are part of the Hamilton Township School District that are going to be working with their kids.
Absolutely. So you may be in a situation as a student where it could be a teacher you know, it could be a teacher you don't know, but might be your teacher one day.
Yeah.
So that's constantly building relationships, and that's what's so important to us here is that we want to connect our students, we want to connect our teachers, and we want to offer an opportunity in the summer for everyone to work and for the student enrichment. We want to make sure that our students are still learning in the summer.
No brain drain. You can't have that
Absolutely.
summer brain drain. That's what people talk about, where you go into the summer and you forget everything that you learned.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when you're engaged in camp and you're meeting new kids and you're perhaps in a new building and you're on the playground, you're in hallways you've never seen before, you're in classrooms and meeting new people. It's just an enriching experience all the way around, and they're learning, but they're having fun.
Right, right. It's all firing off all different things. Like when I think of summer camp, I kind of think of a PE type of experience where you're playing games, you're involved in activities, maybe there's even arts and other, I mean, that's summer camp in a nutshell, kind of, right?
It is. It's all of the above, actually. So when you come to our summer camps, we're not competing with the camps in the area. We're unique, and we realize that. We are half-day camps. We have AM and PM half-day. We have full day. We are that program where if you want to pursue the arts, you can. You want to pursue sports, and you want to play outside, and you want to disconnect from technology, we offer that. If you want to learn culinary, that's an opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to pursue engineering and you want to learn about drones and aviation.
Do some
and
robots or something.
Yes,
Right, right.
Bots and Robots. That's one of our camps.
Awesome.
Yeah, so there literally is something for everyone, and we're so excited to offer too a whole kindergarten themed set of camps, because in some cases our kids are coming to us without any kind of educational experience. Not every child is in preschool and pre-K. They may in some cases never have even been without their family. So they haven't been in a classroom setting. So it's a lot of fun. We have camps like Dinosaur Dig and Kindergarten Kickstart and Vias for Volcano and camps like that, and they fill up fast.
I mean, that's so important for kids to be school ready and to have those kind of social interactions during a summer camp, a great opportunity so that they're ready to go in the fall, maybe even meet some new playmates or new friends or something like that, so they know people when they get ready to go into kindergarten or first grade or whatever. So you're already planning for next year's camps. Are there certain camps that are sold out? Are there like really popular choices?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have to say that we're kind of shocked by the community's response this year to camp. Our enrollment is very, very high for only being open for a little over 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah. And we have 11 camps that are already sold out.
Wow.
Yes. We kind of broadened our offerings this year. For instance, last year we offered 45 unique camps. Well, we offered 70 unique camps this year.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we have a robust offering, and 11, as I mentioned, are already sold out. Many will be sold out soon. I always encourage people to register early, and truer words were never spoken, because this year I'm getting phone calls and we're still fitting families in, and we're mapping out the summer, and so it's exciting. But yeah, the culinary is popular. Arts, science, sports. Lego camp, we've already added a second. That filled up right away as well.
My daughter always had opportunities to do like different popular camps, like Harry Potter camp. You guys have something like that? Where
We
you
have
like,
Harry
could be
Potter.
like a wizard.
Absolutely, and
Wow.
Harry Potter's sold out too.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, Harry Potter's fun. It is a passion of mine. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, but for us, it was important for us to really bring together the whole social aspect of Harry Potter, but also have our kids outside playing Quidditch,
Right.
inside making potions, working in teams and exploring that whole fantasy, of the story, and that's getting lost in it, and that's what we need our kids to do in the summertime, is to get lost in something, to immerse themselves in something new.
And to have fun doing it.
Absolutely.
So there's also like we talked about the high school musicals. I would think there's like a summer stock type of experience that you could have, which I really enjoyed. My summers, I would do some summer stock, and we'd put the play together and everything. And again, like you were describing, with just meeting new people, making those types of social interactions, it fires off different things in your brain, and it prevents that brain drain.
Absolutely. So the arts are also a big part of our camps. We have them for all different age levels. And again, it may be the first time a child is stepping on stage. You know, we have strings, we have band, we have different levels of performing arts as far as theater.
Nice.
And one thing that's really fun for our camps is the performing arts programs. We invite them to perform every Friday. So we have the families come in and all the camps come down so the kids have an audience. We fill the audience up and they get on stage. And something fun that we started last year too was the American Sign Language Camp. We involved them in our performance. We had them open and close the camp through sign language. And so it's just another opportunity to get more and more of our camps up and out in front of their friends and giving them the opportunity to learn something new.
And have people just expanding their world and what they understand and know. I mean, sign language and world languages and stuff. It really gives you a different perspective, empathy, sympathy about other people, their cultures and their backgrounds and stuff. So a lot of great stuff with summer camps and throughout the Hamilton Township School District that we picked up on today here on the Education Parade. Big thanks to Brianne O'Neill, our video engineer, for helping us out, to Bill Redner, who puts together the program, to all of our guests, to Dr. Rocco, to Mr. Baye, and to Laura Gelch, who's been sitting by, and also to Dr. Sullivan, who was with us talking about the musicals and what's happening here with the arts in Hamilton Township School District. All right, well, big thanks to Laura as well for helping to connect all of these elements and bring together our guests and stuff. Yeah, so a little round of applause for Laura. And I really do recommend you take a look at those summer camps. I'm sure that she, with the survey, you guys are doing a good job over there. How can people find out more about summer camps and other stuff happening at the Hamilton Township School District?
So if you visit our website, and it's htsdnj.org, htsdnj.org, and you just right away you'll see immediately that you'll be able to click on a link. It'll take you to more information for summer camp. There's
Nice.
one thing I want to mention. It sort of ties in with Mr. Baye as well. Is one thing that's new for this year is we used a platform called S'more for our newsletter. We took our entire brochure and we put it in this newsletter. When you look at this digital online catalog of all of our camps, it allows you to click a button and translate into 82 different languages.
Wow.
So that was new for this year. We really wanted to make sure that we were able to have an inclusive program and have no barriers for anyone who may want to attend.
Right, that inclusivity. And again, you go back to the sign language or the languages elements and the significance of diversity and how it makes all of our experiences richer. Great to hear that kind of highlighted here as we wrap up Education on Parade on WBCB. Thanks for being with us on your station in Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County.